Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And despite having all of the intentions to not buy another bike, well, I've bought another bike and I'll show you what it is in 2 seconds. You might be able to guess. Pause right now and put in the comments if you can tell by the tail section what it is. I'm going to give you and you should have guessed by now. It is a 2003 Suzuki SV650, which I suppose I'll show you now. So you might remember recently that, you know, I made a video that I'll put up in the top corner of the screen, up that side, about wanting to buy a bike like an SV650. It does have the seats, by the way, they are over here with me. But yeah, how this came about was I was just watching for SV650s on Facebook Marketplace really carefully. This was the cheapest local SV650 that also still runs. It has two pretty good tires on it. It has plenty of problems and we'll get to those very soon. Front brakes work pretty okay. They're going to be rebuilt and we're obviously going to change the brake lines. The rear brakes don't work at all. The chain is in pretty decent condition and the engine runs like a champ. Cosmetically, it needs some work, but that's okay. And we're going to start putting stuff on the board here in a second and we're going to figure out basically what this is as a project, because to be completely open and honest, I have decided to to almost certainly park all of the work I was doing on the Valkyrie until when it gets a little bit cooler in here basically. Because I really want to get to do a race on this in October. So there's some prep work to be done with that, and there's obviously parts of the list need to be knocked out. And we'll also go through really quick, really quick, in case you don't want to go back and watch the other video, why I decided not to keep, you know, making more and more changes to the Z900RS for the track. But first let's do a walk around and I'll show you the damage, I suppose. Also, yes, I am extremely happy I managed to snag this because it is quite a nice bike. Everything works other than brakes, but I mean, that's not a big deal. We're gonna get right to, say the worst of the damage. There's a dent here in the tank, but it's not actually torn or split. It does not leak, which is good. Inside of the tank also could do with a little bit of a clean, so we'll figure that one out because this bike did live outside, but under a cover. So, you know, kind of surface rust like down there on the exhaust, which sounds pretty good. It's a D&D. I've never heard of them before, but it sounds really good. Bike rides very well. I mean, the engine is excellent. I'll start it another time. Right now I don't want to start it because I don't really know the condition of the oil and everything, but all the clocks work, all the lights work, brake lights work, etc. I just had the seats off to kind of start inspecting how clean it was underneath, and like you can see, I mean, it's clean. You know what I mean? It's not full of creatures or whatever else, and which I was expecting. And I mean, the engine itself, engine covers wise, very clean. I did leave it sit in one place in the garage when I got home just to make sure there was no hidden leaks. Like I said, tires in good condition. It's pretty clean for how clean you'd expect an older bike to be. These are a bit faded, but I'm probably going to do full race fairings eventually. Obviously the plastics, again, a bit worn, and this is a bit floopery, as you can see there. But again, nothing major. I think I got very lucky with it. It runs really strong. Like I said, chain needs a clean, needs a lube. But you know, is not failing or anything. So far, all the bearings look really good. I kind of did a quick test on everything. But yeah, we're obviously going to go through the whole bike before I take it on track. So it's going to come apart and just get some stuff done. So to go with that, and you're gonna get a sneak peek at upcoming videos on on this board as well. So if you see anything you like, maybe shout out what you like the most. So to get on the board here, first we're gonna start, and we're gonna call this the SV650 project, because I'm gonna be pretentious and say it's a project. One, brakes. So that's gonna be brake lines, rebuilding more brakes. We're gonna do probably HEL braided brake lines because HEL are my preference. I mean in shadow, sorry. HEL are kind of my preference. I've had very good luck with HEL. It actually came with a spare caliper. Apparently the old one was seized, so we might try to get that apart and rebuild that. But the rear one currently looks like it works. There's just the master cylinder's leaking, so probably do master cylinder rebuild kits, and I might even change the master cylinder on the front. I just need to look into the rules in the class we want to race in to make sure that that's all compliant. Number two, we will need tires for the track, because while those tires are fine, and I might use them on the road, they're not really track, something I want to do use on the track. Honestly, the brakes are going to be the biggest one, because everything else kind of works well. Then I might do a 520 chain conversion. These are not in order, these are just as they come up, what I need to check over. Chain looks in good condition though, so I probably won't go after that too much. Then we're going to look at bodywork. The best thing I can find cheapness wise, it's called Hot Bodies. I know they're not the fanciest things in the world. Then an Aim Solo 2 maybe for track time, and we'll figure that one out. Again, not in order of relevance or preference or anything. This is just stuff I know that I need to do. Oh, and the forks. One of the big things is the forks are leaking, so seals wise. So that's going to be springs plus all seals. And I'll probably do bushes, the whole lot. It's just full rebuild basically. Actually, I'll just put in full rebuild. That makes more sense, doesn't it? And by the way, if you think of anything that if you have experience, you know, building track bikes or whatever else, race bikes, you know, tell me down in the comments, because I'm probably missing stuff. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. Obviously, I have not built a bike suitable for racing before. Safety wire and bolts, obviously, again, class rules. I'm gonna have to look into what I have to do. Jesus, I can't spell coolant flush plus replace, because obviously we can't have you know, glycol coolant in there. It's gotta have to be water, and then I'll probably use water wetter. I've seen a lot of people use it. Apparently it's very good, so I'll probably do that. Shock, definitely gonna need to do the shock. I would just do the spring, but this shock is, you know, 21 years old. This bike is 21 years old, so that shock, I'm sure, is extremely tired. Then brakes. This brakes kind of includes the master cylinders, but the rear one I'm just going to rebuild because I'm not really worried about a performance rear master cylinder. The front I might replace, or I might talk to my brother and see will he pull the Orsa S19 that I have on the Gixxer at home off and send it to me. Brakes wise, I mean the rotors look pretty good, as they call them over here. We call them brake discs at home. Brake discs / rotors look really good. The actual calipers themselves work fine, but we'll probably pull them apart and clean them at minimum, and maybe change the seals. And the rear, then obviously I'll probably rebuild that as well. Although the gentleman I bought it off did say that they were actually it's a brand new remanufactured rear caliper, because he thought that was the issue, and then it turned out to be a leaking master cylinder. The big things though, I mean, that we have to do kind of first to get this rideable is definitely brakes and forks. Everything else is, I mean, it's actually, it works. For the price I paid for this bike, the fact that it works and has decent tires and stuff, you can find them. They're out there, you just need to be patient. I promise you can find them. But that's kind of where we're starting off with. Obviously I'm going to do more here, and just try not read this list too much, because that's kind of future videos. Some of these are already recorded, some of them need to be edited, some of them have not been recorded at all. I have too many videos and too little time. I'll probably also cut a lot of these kind of into shorter videos together, because obviously brakes, I have a lot of videos on brakes and how to rebuild them and stuff on the channel, so I might not go through them again. Tires the same, I'll just do a quick video on the tires, because I'm obviously, that Rabaconda review is coming, which is how I change tires. Tires aren't that exciting. Obviously as the wheels come off as well, I will be checking all of the wheel bearings, and if we need to change those, I will change those. Swing arm bearing and all that looks really good. And the bike only has It only has 16,579 miles. It has like genuinely low mileage for a 21-year-old bike. But this is kind of the bulk of the things. Like, so to get me on track, brakes, forks, and shock really is the main things I need to actually get out on track and do a track day, which obviously I want to do before we do it. I mean, those tires could be used. They're Pilot Road 5, so they'd move around a lot and I'd melt them. But yeah, shock, forks, brakes, they're the big ones. Then after that, obviously tires need to be done. And then if I want to race in October, we need bodywork. The 520 chain conversion is obviously falling lower down the list because it doesn't need to be done, but it would be a nice to have. Safety oil will need to be done. Coolant flush and replace will need to be done. So that's kind of the list to get us back where we need to be. And I might talk to someone as well and see can they pull those dents out of the tank if I bring the tank to them, just so it looks a little bit prettier. But that's the new exciting news. I'm genuinely kind of, I was a bit weird because I didn't expect, I'll be completely honest, I did not expect to find an SV650. I really wanted to find an SV650, but I didn't think it'd happen. So I'm pretty happy with the fact I did manage to find one. And the gentleman who'll hopefully be racing this bike with me is called Tom. And as I've been telling Tom, we have this bike. I'm looking forward to doing my first bike build that's actually going to be like race spec. Obviously haven't done that before. Track prep stuff and all that, but they're not the same. You know what I mean? Close, but not the same. And before we finish the video, and again, if you have any suggestions, if you have done this before, please do let me know. Like I said, I've not built a race bike. So am I missing anything? I just want to do basics. I need to keep this as low budget as possible because I somehow need to afford a trailer as well, while still trying to avoid selling the Z, because I really don't want to sell the Z. If I do have to, you know, if someone was to make me a really good offer on it or something, obviously I would sell it because I'm not dumb. But the preference is not to, of course. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on things you think I'm missing, do let me know. And also, yeah, the Z, why? It's just not a track bike. You know, it doesn't really fit into any of the classes that are out there well. So even if I was to keep doing work with it and got really fast on it, it's just never going to be where it needs to be. And any next step I take to make it more track appropriate is going to ruin it as a road bike. And I really do love riding that thing on the road. And if it came to it, you know, if I had to sell it to fund doing some race stuff, I'd be happier that it was still a really, really good road bike like it is now, and would go to someone so that they could enjoy it as a road bike. You know, it's just, I'm going to do a little trip on that soon, or maybe not that little, we'll see. I love that bike. I really, really, really love the Z, and that's the goal, is to obviously not have to sell that because I have it set up for me now with the spring weights and everything else. So the aim is to keep it and keep it pretty much like it is now, because I'm actually really happy with how it rides, how it feels, how it looks. Yeah, and I mean, for longer trips, obviously I still have the V-Strom. So I'm kind of good with bikes. You know, I didn't actually intend to buy another bike, but it's Tom's fault. He got me more back into the track than I thought it would be. I really tried to avoid going back, to be honest, spending money on the track, but hey, that's how life goes. And you know, we have the race school thing passed so we can get a race license and do some racing. So yeah, if you're excited about any of this or just want to see some of the videos on how to fix certain things on your SV650, let me know down in the comments. If you have any suggestions that you think I'm forgetting off my board of magnificence, let me know down in the comments. And if you're just happy that I shaved my head because I got sick of paying for haircuts, let me know down in the comments. Yes, I brought it up because I knew someone would ask if I didn't. It always happens. But yeah, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a massive thank you to all of my patrons. They did get to find out about this SV650 first. It was very much a spur of the moment decision when it popped up on Facebook Marketplace, so I didn't get to tell anyone until it had happened. And yeah, I'm really excited. So first things first, I want to try to get this registered for the road as soon as I can, so that we can actually do some, you know, on-road testing once I get the forks and the brakes fixed and stuff. And then we'll see how soon I'm going to go get race bodywork and get it full race prepped, and even still see can I keep it road legal while being race prepped, because I like riding bikes on the road, you know what I mean? I like being able to test them and stuff. So being able to legally do that would be good. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Just a little quick update video on my new bike. I love bikes. I love bikes. Yeah. Adios. Outro crew, the color. I love the color. Honestly, part of the reason that it caught my eye is because of the color. Look, it's orange. It's beautiful. I love the color. I don't want to change it. If I could keep it like that. Oh, this would be a good thumbnail actually. I'll do that as a thumbnail, a creepy ass thumbnail in a minute. But yeah, if I could, even if I got race bodywork, if I can keep it that color, I think I'm going to try to. But race bodywork is of course going to be rattle can finished because I am going to be poor. But that's okay because we'll be racing. Bye, outro crew. Oh, question: if you could paint this race bodywork colors, what color would you paint? What color would you paint, outro crew? What color? Thanks, outro crew. Bye, outro crew.